Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Lakeburg Legacies. When we left off in the previous episode, we had a loveless marriage and a surprising divorce. So we recruited a seamster by the name of Bjorn, who is 22 years old right now. And he married Raymonda Keller and established the Keller family. She is the new baker. Now this couple is absolutely miserable because they're both mean, they're both cowardly. Bjorn thankfully works on his own right now in the sewing workshop. I was hoping Raymonda would get along well with Marie, a really kind and romantic baker, but no, I think Raymonda has just made life in the bakery miserable, and so these two are not getting along well at all. And then, surprisingly, our farming couple, in the Korb family, Colette and Eberolf, they fell into like a loveless marriage after the birth of their son Valerius, and now they have divorced. So currently, Colette is just living with her son Valerius, in her wonderful house, and Eberolf is divorced. Now, I did say that being divorced for us now means that we can make 2 new matches like outside of Lakeburg and introduce more people. I was thinking about it, and I think I have come to the decision that I feel like the divorces should have a little bit more weight to them, in that if a couple does divorce, especially for the men, it shouldn't be so easy for them. Like, divorce shouldn't be such an easy decision, and then it shouldn't be so easy for them to kind of just move on, right? If you are willing to divorce your wife in this context, then I feel like the men should be willing to risk being homeless and being out on the streets, because like I said, within my version of Lakeburg, in this, particular version, the women essentially own property and run the households. So Eberolf has risked basically not having a roof over his head by divorcing his wife. And the other thing I'm thinking about is maybe I will kind of allow, outsiders coming in as a fresh couple. So through recruitment and then matchmaking, but matchmaking as in outside of Lakeburg. But once you become a villager in Lakeburg, I feel like Lakeburg's villagers prefer mingling within the local population. So now Eberolf, but also Colette, would have to wait for maybe another divorcee in Lakeburg before they settle down again. And that's going to also give them time to just be single. So I'm thinking that's the way I'll do it. Otherwise, we'll grow too much too quickly and things will get messy. So that's kind of, what's going on in my mind. So Eberolf, he's going to have to basically risk being on the streets unless someone else has bad luck and ends up getting divorced, and then he can, sneak his way into their bed somehow and in their house. But for now, he's going to be on his own. And Colette is just going to focus on raising Valerius, basically. So there is that. Now, I am not sure if they can find another couple or get married on their own through events. I haven't come across anything like that in my own gameplay, so we'll have to see. And that's kind of where we are at right now. That's kind of where we're at. And the farm, surprisingly, has the ambience has turned neutral, because I think being divorced has probably eased a lot of tensions between the two of them. They're having a lot of difficulties at home, but now that they're no longer together, it's not even a problem anymore. So, they're getting by. Somehow they are getting by. But okay, we have some stuff that we can do. The most important of which is a building. We can actually build, what was it? We can build a mine! So this is amazing. This is gonna give us, some more potential places that our future villagers can work in. So right now we have a vacancy in the mine, which means when I'm recruiting, I'm probably gonna wanna emphasize, a miner. So let's go ahead and see. We're gonna recruit someone new. Okay. Oh, we have interesting one-eyed people this time around. So Roland is 19 years old. He does not look 19. he does not look 19, but he could be a fisherman, a blacksmith, or assassin. We don't have these amenities just yet. And then we have Anne Frost. That is such a pretty name. Who's 27 years old. She has potential to be a miner, knight, or assassin. We actually need a miner because we just built a mine. But she looks so cool. She looks like she has a story. I mean, Roland does too. I don't know how they got this scar on their eye, but oh, she looks so cool. I love her name. Anne Frost the miner. We are getting her. So she's gonna establish the Frost household. Oh, I am loving this. Loving this. And right now, we only have like 2 rival families in the kingdom. The Danan and the Olwen family are rival families from like this story we've created. But okay, and let's go ahead and establish a new... Oh wait, first of all, let's get her in the mines. Excellent. She's gonna be... We're gonna do... Oh, we don't have money for upgrades. Darn it. It's okay. We'll save up some gold, hopefully. Get some upgrades soon. But she is going to establish her own home. Okay. Let's take a look. Hold on a second. And she is gonna be neighbors to the Keller family. Okay. So let's go ahead. She is gonna have her own home, of course. And then we are going to do a match for her. Not for Colette or for Everolf, because, you know, they're our locals, so they're gonna have to wait for the dating pool to increase within Lakeburg for them to remarry. But Anne, she's a newbie. And also, what is her... Noble! Oh, she's from a noble background. That is so cool. But she's gonna become... Actually, don't know. As a miner, if her rank changes. That is so fascinating. I was just like, I didn't even pay attention to this beforehand, but I don't know if you guys noticed, we can at an instant tell which class someone is from based on like the little background they have over here. So the peasants have this kind of like olive colored background, and then the... Or like a, I don't know, it's like a goldish, but not quite greenish. It's a strange color. It's like olive green. They have like an olive green background. And then the brown background is the artisans, or are the artisans. And the teal backgrounds are the nobles. So how fascinating that. That means Anne is the first noble who has actually come... We got a lot of artisans recently, but first noble to come into Lakeburg, which is exciting. And I know some of these are going to change. Like, I think Brynjar is going to... He's very close to becoming a peasant. So he's going to become a peasant soon because he is a mason. And then Bjorn is going to become an artisan because he's a seamster. It looks like nothing's changing for Anne just yet, but who knows? Who knows? Okay, sorry. Anne, we need to find you someone. So let's see what kind of soulmate she's going to come across. Let's have a look from the surroundings. An average match with Theodoric, who is 25 years old. He's a peasant. He is a greedy, but he's brave and ascetic. Okay. Prankster, fisherman, hunter. So we could have a new hunter with him. That might ease tensions in the hunting cabin. He likes the art of war, poetry, and reading. And then he dislikes treats, flowers, and dueling. Okay, so he seems like a very kind of knowledgeable person. You know, he seems like an intellectual. That's what I'm getting from him. He's a bit of an intellectual. And I mean, he's greedy, but maybe he's greedy for knowledge. He doesn't seem the very, like, indulgent or pleasurable type. Huh. But their likes and dislikes, like, don't match. But, you know, that might spice things up. I don't know. But they have a +5 affinity because of 5% affinity because of Anne's romantic trait, and then because of a social trait, they have +6 affinity as well. Okay, let's try this date. Again, we don't know if it's going to be success or not just yet. We'll try this date to see how it goes. Let's see. So starting off at the tavern, we can get excited about great libraries or criticize the work of the realm's best painter. We'll criticize the painting. These paintings bring a lot of novelty to the pictorial landscape of this century. Of course, this art is not for narrow minds. Okay, she's not making the best impression. And then we're going to have a boat ride at the lake. Better to be direct, poetry is just a waste of time. Or we can say that flowers are pointless. I think he's going to like this. Concerned about allergies, Theodoric will never let flowers enter his house. And then we're going to enjoy the hill by moonlight, criticize those barbarians who see dueling as a pleasant hobby, or talk about the sufferings of war. We're going to talk about the sufferings of war. Theodoric always volunteers to brandish the flag on the battlefield. He doesn't really care for the wounded or the dead. Okay, is this a fail? It's a match! How the hell is this a match? This happened last time too. I mean, it's average. It's not, the love meter isn't that great. But you know what? Theodoric maybe saw that Anne is from a noble background, you know, she's got kind of a good thing going, or she's got an important position in Lakeburg as a miner, you know, she's essential to the community, and he thought, you know what, life will be good, like this might be a good in for him to get into Lakeburg. Okay, well, they are going to be married, Anne and Theodoric, into the Frost family. So life is good for him right now. And oh my goodness, now we have the rodent's nest. Now we have the rodent's nest. So we have to watch out for the health of our villagers. Basically, this makes it so that we could have, you know, rat infestations is what I'm imagining in my head, and it's going to affect the health. A rat trainer is going to be able to look after this, but we don't have any potential rat trainers right now. Okay, well, Theodoric, we need you to be a hunter, so we are going to open up a slot for hunting, and you are going to be yet another hunter of ours. Okay, wonderful. Let's go ahead and see what everyone gets up to now. Yeah, and Theodoric, well, we'll just have to see how that pans out, to be honest. They are in a loveless marriage, which is very... Theodoric Baden is his name. Theodoric Baden. Wow. And how are things in the hunting cabin? Still bad? Still bad? Maybe Theodoric just needs to, like, get to know some of the others a bit more before, you know, he makes a good impression. So you're telling me 3 hunters work in a cabin together and none of them like socializing with each other? It's like they all have their own corners. They don't like, you know, their prey crossing furs or anything like that. Okay, let's see. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh my goodness! Teresa, our lumberjack and founder, has died while taking a nap. Teresa Denon was discovered in a nearby clearing dead while leaning against an old oak tree in a peaceful-looking pose. Supposedly, she decided to have a quick nap and never woke again. Guys, do you know what this means? This means that Loop and Teresa's son Pepin, who is aged up, is going to be homeless. This is terrible. This is terrible. Okay, hold on a second here. Oh my goodness. We know that Anne and Theodoric are in a loveless marriage, but Teresa passed away at 36. She was so flippin' young. She was so young. Okay, but the villagers are really confident because health is really good in the village. Yeah, our rodents, because of her death, oh, she sacrificed herself. The rodent's nest is like not really a thing right now. It doesn't have any slots open anymore because our population went down. So we're not big enough to have like rat plagues. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this obviously is gonna impact this family a huge heap because now Loop cannot have property. Only the women have property, which means we do have an empty house, but not only that, Pepin and Loop are now homeless. And guys, look at Pepin! Look at this cute-ass kid. Oh, with his bowl cut, who looks so happy, but his mother just died. Oh my goodness, child. Okay, we have things that need to be done, guys. Well, now we have like an opening in the lumberjack's lodge. Okay, but this actually, so we're gonna see our first instance of how some parents can be very brutal. We're gonna see our first instance of that. Because as you can see, like I said, I think the population of Lakeburg, they prefer mingling within themselves, unless it's like a fresh outsider couple. like we've just had with the Frost family. And Colette, she's single. And Loop is now also single. And he and Colette don't have like any romantic history. So I think he could try for a date with her. But the problem is that, yes, he and his son are both homeless. If he marries Colette, he's only getting himself out of the streets. Because Colette's house doesn't have enough space to also take in Pepin. And so, you know, we'll get the choice. Who becomes homeless? Is it Valerius or is it Pepin? If she takes in Pepin, she has to kick out her own son. If she keeps her own son, she has to kick out Pepin. Obviously, with the women, they will always choose their own bloodline, their own children. So that means Loop is going to have a second marriage, and he's going to be, if it works out, like if their date works out, he's going to have a roof over his head, but he's going to leave behind his son Pepin, who is only 6 years old. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But Pepin could be, if he becomes homeless, he could be adopted by the Bonnet family, the Keller family, or the Frost family. Those events do actually happen. Oh my goodness. What's Loop's personality? I mean, he's depressive, proud, and energetic. Sometimes, you know, these parents can be very selfish. But okay, this does mean, yeah, Loop is going to go on a date. What is his, okay, right now, just right now, does he know Colette? He doesn't know Colette. He doesn't have any sort of like interaction with her. Let's go ahead, and I mean, he's newly divorced. Oh, well, I mean, not divorced, but you know, he's a widow. He's been recently widowed, so he's like not in a good mood. He's heartbroken. Colette is also, like, she's been recently divorced. She's heartbroken, so their match is not gonna kind of work anyways, but they might still decide to get married. So let's go ahead. Loop is going to, he's gonna have a date with Colette. We'll see how it goes. So, you know, a hunter and a farmer. He's 38, she's 33, so he's a few years older than her, but that's not a big deal. They're both peasants. They both like kittens. They might bond over that. I don't know. So Colette is divorced, which means the dates have a fewer chance to succeed, or fewer chances to succeed. And the marriage affinity is going to be minus 30% because she's heartbroken. And then the dates will have even less of a chance to succeed because Loop is widowed. And, you know, because he's heartbroken too. So the marriage affinity is like minus 60%, I think. But let's go ahead. He's desperate for a roof over his head. Let's see how this goes. So he's gonna go on a date with her. So starting off at the inn, we could criticize those barbarians who see dueling as a pleasant hobby, or we could be direct. Poetry is just a waste of time. We're gonna take the poetry. Are you gonna kiss me or what? Once the surprise was gone, Colette appreciated Loop's directness. Okay. Everything seems to be fine. Now they're going on a boat ride. Proposed the idea of picking some flowers in the fields, or did denigrate Lakeburg's baker and his cloying treats. We're gonna denigrate the baker. Loop and Colette agree. To sell so many sweet treats, the baker must be in cahoots with the tooth puller. And then they're enjoying the hill by moonlight. Oh, we didn't even have a third date. We didn't even do the third date. It's going so well that they are discussing marriage almost immediately. Okay, I guess Colette, she wants a stepfather for her son probably. And Loop, he's just desperate for a bed. He does not want to be out on the streets. And he's not even thinking about his own son. So it is a match. This is miserable. I was talking about these kind of situations in the very beginning though, and look, it happened. They have awful affinity, but a large part of that could just be, yeah, I mean, it could be the circumstances they're both in right now, with the deaths and the heartbreaks and all that. But they're gonna get married, and look, guys, look at this. So yeah, because the Andersons are homeless, they obviously don't have a home. They're gonna be moving in with Colette. Pepin is gonna become homeless. I know we have enough resources to unlock another slot, but just the way I like playing, I only keep one child slot open per house. It's like my way of population control. And this way, we do have some interesting and tragic stories, but also some other couples have a chance to, you know, adopt. Maybe couples who either are struggling to have kids of their own, or they really don't want to have like biological kids of their own. They can adopt some of these other, you know, unfortunate youngsters. So Pepin at 6 years old, oh, he's gonna become homeless and his father's gonna leave him. Like, instantly. Okay, yeah. We're gonna have Loop move in with Colette. You shameless Loop. You shameless hunter. Absolutely shameless. Okay, but they're infatuated with each other. They are infatuated. If we look at the houses now. Where is... Right. So basically, oh my goodness, the drama. His wife died, and then he moved in. He got with his like divorced neighbor, and he moved into her home, like literally right next door. Wow. Wow, Loop. Wow. Okay. And yeah, their affinity's still awful. I don't know what kind of dynamic they're gonna have. I hope you make a decent stepfather for Valerius, because you made a terrible father for your own biological child. And poor Pepin is on the streets on his own. But Pepin, maybe he's gonna get some guidance in life if he finds himself a mentor. So he ideally wants to be a miner. And we do actually have a miner right now, and that's Anne Frost! Look at that, she can take on a student. So she's actually gonna start mentoring and training Pepin at the mines. So even if Pepin doesn't have a place to sleep, at least he has this really cool new mentor who's just come into town. Maybe she's seen that he has some sort of affinity for working with stone, and she's decided she's gonna kind of teach him how to be able to, you know, feed himself in the future. Also do some upgrades, the working conditions are a bit better. Hopefully that helps out Anne and Pepin as well. But okay, guys. Okay. With that said and done, we haven't really had anything happen with Anne and Theodoric within the house just yet, and we haven't gotten to see like what kind of dynamic they might have in their marriage just yet, because all of this kind of happened. But hey, it's okay. We'll have like more to cover when we come back next time. But with that said and done, guys, I'm gonna leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.